Jealousy can happen with the purest of intentions. I'm talking about that little type that just creeps in somewhere there, even though the part of your mind that is responsible for your thinking actually is happy for the person that you seem to feel jealous of. But some part of your emotions will just have you in that chokehold where it's like, I worked so hard for something like that, or that could have been me, or I really wish that would be me, or even without the words, but just that little feeling of I think that you know what I'm talking about. And this video, it has come from a conversation that I was having with my friends a few months earlier, and I just took some things from that conversation and I put them in my note, and I said to myself, when I'm ready to share these things that I'm going to be sharing with you in this video, I will gather those thoughts, compare with the progress that I've made with my life and where I am now, and tell somebody that after watching this video, you will never be jealous of anyone again. And even if the thoughts creep in, because I find that many times it's the case where it just creeps in without your permission, and immediately you catch yourself, you will catch it and put an end to it. And once you practice that again and again, it eventually gets to a point where you just don't see the need. So if you give me 5 to 10 minutes, you will never be jealous of anyone again. In that conversation, there were two sides. A side that stood with the fact that jealousy is a natural feeling and everyone feels it every now and then, every sometimes, and is just something that is inevitable. And the other side, my side, I said, well, you can live above jealousy. I don't feel the need to compare myself to anyone. I understand what you're talking about, but I don't feel the need to compare myself to anyone. Fast forward to now, I realize that both can be true and the better one can be learned. First things first, there is nobody like you in this world. I had the privilege of being in circumstances that drilled that into me so much growing up that I just don't think I'm replaceable. I appreciate myself so much. I appreciate my God-given talents. I appreciate the work that I put into the things that I do. And I'm happy with the results, even when they're terrible. So much so that I would not compare the results to the results of someone else who has it great. As long as I've done the bits that I could have done, I can leave anything else that anyone else has done. But not everyone is opportune to grow up in environments like that. And sometimes it's even by accident that the environments that we've grown up in will allow us feel jealous. For example, parents will sometimes not observe that they have favored one kid over the other, or that they have made a statement that has glorified somebody outside above their kids in a way that has caused them to feel But here what we're trying to say is, much like the popular saying, nobody is you and that is your superpower. So the comparison that is usually the root cause of jealousy is something that can really simply be overcome by the realization that what you could be doing is pitching your hands against your eyes. Sorry to interrupt your video, a gentle appeal. If you're watching this video and it's provoking the sort of thoughts that you want to think and you like it in any form at all, please use the like button, leave a comment, subscribe if you wish, and engage with it, because that's the only way YouTube, TikTok, Instagram realizes that maybe somebody likes the video. If you don't, it's an algorithm that assumes that the content is bad, and so they will not suggest it to more people. And that's why the conversation may be great, but it won't reach the people who need to hear it. But if you do the bit that I'm pleading with you to do, it has a chance to reach everyone who needs the information. Thank you so very much. Let's get back into the video. Human beings around the world, every single human being is blessed, and blessed in a way that causes somebody to be stronger in an area than the other, and that causes the other to be stronger in an area than the first person. So what it means is that there's no basis for comparison. You're going to do something better than me, and I'm going to do something better than you. Somebody's going to be prettier than me, and I'm going to be prettier than someone else. Somebody's going to have more money than me, and I'm going to have more money than someone else. As soon as you realize that there is no basis for comparison, and that you are all that is required for you to be you, the need for jealousy starts to die. The number two thing is very much like the first: compete with yourself. Once you step into that zone where nothing that anyone else does bothers you to the degree of comparing yourself, in other words, you have valued yourself and the things that you have and exalted them so that you can rest in that, you will then compare what you've done yesterday to what you've done today. And even if it's not a resultant effect, you can intentionally decide, I'm going to compare what I've done yesterday to what I'm doing today, or to what I will do in the future. That way your focus is on you. And what I found with practice, much like the very popular saying, practice makes perfect, is that when you do something again and again and again and again, it becomes a habit. After a while, if you continue doing it, it moves from being just a habit to who you are. And even with thoughts, you can become the things that you think. Well, generally, naturally, we're already what we think, but you can think upon things that you are not until you become the things that you are thinking. And that's what happens with comparing yourself to yourself, comparing your today to your yesterday. So if you think about it the first time, the second time, the third time that you have too much work to do, too much progress to be made on you, to be noticing what anyone else is doing, jealousy will start to die. Something else that can help kill that little tiny feeling of jealousy is the practice of mudita. It's an Indian word, and it really just means celebrating people and being happy for them intentionally. So for example, you can wake up in the morning, be honest with yourself. This is not one conversation where anybody can lie to themselves. We cannot afford it. Be honest with yourself. If you feel like you have tendencies, or you catch yourself sometimes feeling some type of way about certain people and you don't mean to, it's okay. It's really common. Matter of fact, 80% of people feel that way at some point in their lives. It's very common. So the practice is, for example, you can wake up in the morning, dedicate pages to your note, or maybe not even write it out, but just say to yourself, I wish everyone in the world well. I hope that they are successful. I hope that when they put work out, it yields results. I hope that they can build families that they like if they want. I hope that they can live the type of life that they want. It sets you up for the day so that when that starts to happen in other people's lives, it's stuff that you prayed for. I'm Christian, and there's a Christian practice where you pray for those who have offended you. I think they're very closely related. You pray for those who have offended you, and it's something that works on your mind, works on your thoughts, so that it's almost impossible after a while of praying for such people to feel grudge towards them or to be jealous about something that they have. I was listening to a monk one time, and the way that he practices it, I don't know if that's the entire practice, if that's the way that it's done, or if that was just his practice. He had a page or two dedicated to every other monk in the school. I don't know if it's called a school, but some people were earlier, always on time. He put that down. That's something I can learn from this person. Some people ate in a manner that was very cordial. They were quiet when they ate. He put that down. That's something I can learn from this person. Some people were very outspoken, very clear, very coherent, very articulate, eloquent, whatever the word. He put that down. That's something that I'd really love to learn from this person. And what that does, I don't know if to put it in the same bracket as mudita or if to make it a different point. But what that does is that psychologically, when you see those things, you celebrate them. After all, they're things now that you actually want, that you hope to copy from, that you hope to learn from. So instead of seeds of jealousy being sown, it's replaced for, oh, that's someone that I'm learning from. And not in a way that diminishes you, in a way that grows you, because after a while you can easily become better in those areas. And finally, I just want you to remember that you don't know people well enough to be jealous about them. Many times, especially these days with social media being quite a thing, we see a fraction of the lives that people live, and it's what they want us to see. It's usually never really what is going on in their lives. I've just filmed a video on social media, its impact. You'll be shocked. Maybe I'll link it at the end of the video, but so many people are going to spend 10 to 20 years of their lives, a decade or two of their lives on their phone. And what that will do is plant seeds of comparison in your mind, even if you're not willing to, because you will always see something that is better than you, and in different areas of your life, much more than you would have been exposed to if the phone pandemic wasn't an actual thing. But remember that you don't know anyone enough. Even the people that you're close to in real life, many times we don't know them enough to compare ourselves to them or to compare them to us. And my Christian brain wants to say it's a device of the devil to just make you be looking into or be looking at things that you have no business looking at. And as we wrap up, I just want to talk about the practice of gratitude as well. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. It's much like the first point that we made. The practice of gratitude actually elevates or brings to the fore the things that are going on well for you. You count your blessings and you're thankful for them. And the effect is the first point that we made. You become so aware of what's good about you that your brain will hardly ever get onto what's not good about you. How much more compare what's not good about you to what's good about someone else. The practice of gratitude, in fact, I have a whole video on there. I think in the middle of that, I talked about comparison as well, because they're very much related. Comparison will sow the seed of jealousy. Gratitude will sow the seeds of self-sufficiency. I'm enough. I have enough, and I can create more if I want it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video blessed you. I hope that it helps you. Don't forget to subscribe, especially if you want to see more content like this. And use the like button, leave me a comment and let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how you go through these things. I'm always in the chats, reading, responding, and just relating to my people. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.